Check. 1, 2. One. I think it should be working now. There was just a setting that had been turned off. The microphone input was not set properly in XSplit, but hopefully now you can hear me. I'm seeing little bars now that indicate that some feed is coming through, some microphone goodness. So hopefully you hear my beautiful voice and we can carry on with this show. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry. It's better than awesome hardware where we're late anyway, and we have technical difficulties. But yay, okay, it works, awesome. All right, on with the show. What I was saying earlier is that I hate all of you, and you should all... No, I'm just kidding. I would never say that. But actually, I was just wrapping up my my little recap on the NVIDIA Editors Day that Paul and I were just at, along with like Jay from Jay's 2 Cents and Luke from Linus Tech Tips, a bunch of other guys too. We were in Austin for all that good stuff. NVIDIA dropped a lot of knowledge on our minds, and it was really interesting stuff. Thank you very much, Abendaz, for the donation. I can tell you, I was just about to... You preempted me, bro. I was just about to tell you guys about the GTX 1080, which I actually have right here in this box here. Isn't it beautiful? Well, actually, you can't see it quite yet, but I can show it to you. I guess I'll do a little quick unboxing since you know... Since I love you guys, and as an apology for the audio slip up at the beginning, here is just a look, a brief look. I'm not going to go ahead and tell you any details about it. If you guys want to hear some specs on this thing, go check out my vlog that I just posted. At the very end of that video, I talk all about the specs of this guy. Benchmarks are still under embargo, so unfortunately I can't give you any of those until later this month, hopefully. But this is a very fascinating card. It's very exciting. The latest and greatest flagship from NVIDIA. I guess I'll take it out of the packaging, or else you guys will riot, I'm sure. And it is a little stuck on the little snag there. Being very careful not to ruin it or to scuff it up or anything. But here it is, guys. Here's the Batmobile card in the flesh. It looks a lot nicer in person, I think, than in the pictures. And of course, there's still some plastic wrap on this plastic piece here, so it looks a little bit more glossy than it really is. But I will hopefully be able to share some very exciting information on this card with you guys in the very near future. So stay tuned for that. And look at that, single 8-pin connector right there. Single 8-pin connector. 180 watt TDP on this guy. And it's supposed to be double the performance of the GTX 980 in SLI, and 2A SLI, so that's exciting stuff. So that's, yeah, do not raid my house, people in chat. That will be bad for the show, or might be the best thing that's ever happened on the show, who knows. So yes, there's very exciting stuff that I'm going to be sharing with you guys soon, so stay tuned for that. But, on with it. Also, let me know what you guys want to see about it. You know, drop me a comment, because I'm going to miss the chat, but drop me an actual comment on this video when you can, and let me know what are you most interested to find out about the new card. Of course, I'm going to try to go into as much detail as I can, but it always helps to have some guidance from you guys. So yes, let's talk about Booted, shall we? This is episode 2 of season 4. We're this marks our halfway point, essentially, after the show is over. Our halfway point through the season. And it's exciting because this is our second wave of contestants. This is the high-end season, the second consecutive high-end season of Booted, actually. And I am going to tell you guys what the next season of Booted's theme is going to be. And that is custom water cooling. Now, do not submit your entries just yet. I'm just letting you know that the theme is going to be custom water-cooled builds. There's not going to be any price limit or any kind of value limit. It could be a $1,000 system. It could be a $5,000 system. It just has to feature custom water cooling to some degree. Now, the submission period is not open. I repeat, do not submit a custom water-cooled anything to Booted, to my email right now, because the submission period is going to open up at a later date. That's I haven't decided when that's going to be yet. I don't want to make any promises, but I'm just letting you guys know that the theme for next month, or not next month, but 2 months from now, is going to be custom water cooled. If you guys missed the announcement on last week's episode of Booted, I'm not going to be doing a season in June. So next month there's not going to be any booted. And that's simply because I'm going to be pretty preoccupied in Taipei, Taiwan for Computex of this year. I'm going to be headed there with Paul and stuff. He's going to be busy too. We're going to be shooting each other. So there isn't going to be a season of booted next month. But the following season in July, or the following month in July, there will be a custom water-cooled season. And it should be glorious. So stay tuned for more details on how to enter or submit your PCs to that if you do qualify. But yeah, very exciting stuff. Why don't we go ahead and just give a brief shout out to our sponsor here. Two seasons consecutively is CableMod. They have been a proud sponsor of Booted since last month, and they love the show so much they signed on again. Fools, all of them. No, I'm just kidding. But look at this. This is their CableMod configurator, and I've talked about this quite extensively in previous episodes. But this is new. This is something a little bit different. It's an addition that CableMod has thrown onto their configurator website that wasn't here the last time I talked about it, and that's this. This is the custom extensions right here. Before you had custom PSU cables, so you could actually choose your brand of power supply to get fully sleeved cables that go straight from the unit itself, depending on your model. They've got all kinds of things. Corsair, EVGA, Be Quiet, and so forth. And that's really nice. But since then, they've also added the option for custom extensions. So if you wanted to do some shorter extensions, still keep the stock cables that come with your power supply and just simply have some extensions to go with it, then you can do that as well with the paracord sleeving. Very high quality stuff. Everything else from this point on is pretty much the same as I've shown you in the past. You've got the option for 24-pin, 8-pin, or 6-pin PCIe, or 8 EPS, of course, for your CPU. We're going to go ahead and do a quick example of the 24-pin here. And you can see it's $24 for one of these sleeves for the 24-pin, which I think is very reasonable considering the amount of time and energy that it takes to custom sleeve your cables. If you've never done it in the past, it is quite tedious unless you've done it a lot. Unless you have a lot of practice and you can just plow right through it. It took me forever to do mine for Hotline, for example. So here you go. Here's a little diagram, and you can basically select any color you want. I'm going to do light blue. And then you can just go ahead and click on whichever cable you want to be that color. And it's that simple, guys. It's really that simple. So, you could do whatever you want. You could do I guess I'm doing apparently a red, white, and blue theme here. Going Team America, fuck yeah, sort of thing. But you can do pretty much whatever your heart desires, and it's pretty awesome. So once you're cool with that, you can continue to the next step. They've got a bunch of options here. If you want some cable combs or SATA cables, things like that. They also have their wide beam LED strips, which are very good. Thank you very much, A. Barrett, for the donation. Do appreciate that, sir. Did I meet Deadmau5? No, I really wanted to meet Deadmau5. For those of you who don't know, Deadmau5 was... he was the special musical guest at NVIDIA's party that they had on Friday night after their big public stream that they had, and I did rage out to him pretty hard for an hour or two. However, I did not get a chance to meet him. He was there playing pretty late, and I had to head back to the hotel at a certain point. And it's actually funny that you bring that up, because I had briefly spoken with the PR manager of NVIDIA and asked him, I was like, hey, I'm sure you have some good connections to Deadmau5, obviously. It'd be great if I could build him a Nyan Cat themed PC, because using speaking of which, the CableMod cable configurator, I made this monstrosity, this rainbow-colored 24-pin ATX, just as an example to see what it could do and see what the quality was, and I think it turned out fabulous. So I approached the guy from NVIDIA, who's a really awesome guy. He set up the whole event this weekend, and he was like, dude, that's a great idea, but we already kind of did something like that for him. Actually, NVIDIA built him like several custom modded PCs based on every single one of Deadmau5's cars that he owns. So obviously, it was a good idea because NVIDIA had already thought of it. However, I wasn't able to really go strong with that, go forward with that concept, because it's sort of already been done. A little bit too late to the game there. But maybe who knows? I'll think of something else and pitch it to NVIDIA later. It'd also be great to get a couple more of these graphics cards from NVIDIA, so I could do some SLI testing, maybe 2-way, maybe 3-way, or just have some extras on hand so I can maybe do a custom water cooling build with one of them. I think that'd be super sick, and still have a couple others for SLI testing or just general benchmarking and comparison videos and things like that. So I'm going to try to work with NVIDIA for you guys and see if I can get maybe 1 or 2 more of these for additional content. It's really going to expand the potential and the possibilities of content that I can do with this particular GPU. So very exciting stuff. But again, Cable Mod Configurator, thank you guys for sponsoring the show. If you guys are at all interested in making something as amazingly disgusting or amazingly beautiful as your heart desires, whatever your imagination has at its will, then go ahead and check the link in the description below in this video's description, and you can be on your way to creating the cable extension or power supply cable of your dreams. Very cool stuff. Okay, let's talk about one more thing. Sorry, really quick, I wanted to mention. This isn't going to take long. Why is it asking me if I want to leave? Okay, shirts. I just restocked a bunch of shirts, and I'm only mentioning this because a lot of you guys have been asking about it. Everything is now back in stock. The new BIOS Flasher shirt has been in stock for a while since I first brought them to the website here. But more recently, the CPU Cooler shirt in both a navy blue and a heather navy, which is a softer material, quite more comfortable. But if you prefer the darker color, that's nice too. These have both been replenished, as well as the Stay Positive shirt, which a lot of you guys have been asking about. Also the blue arrows that you see here to represent the intake, because positive pressure and all that, have also been revamped. So these are a little bit brighter than the picture shows. It will be a lot more vibrant when you actually pick one of those up. So feel free to grab one of those shirts, guys. Available in a variety of sizes. Okay. Enough of me rambling. Let's talk about Booted. On last week's episode, we had, who was it? We had Michael. Michael with this beautiful Evolve ATX system. You can see his specs right here. He has 6700K and 16 gigs of RAM with two GTX 980 Ti's in SLI. Those are reference cards. Of course, they were branded by Zotac and whatnot. But I mean, just take a look. Take a look at this beauty, and you can really see why he is our Week 1 finalist for this season of Booted. It's just a fantabulous system. I really love that, again, that Be Quiet cooler. It's absolutely beautiful, and just cable management is so on point here. Everything about this system just deserves to win the season. But we have more. We have more where that came from, guys. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and jump into our very first contestant for this episode, which is Fani. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing your name right, Fami, or if it's Fami. I'm really sorry. I'm butchering that shit. I don't even, I have no cultural horizons that are really expanded. I'm very in my bubble. I don't know ethnic names very well, so forgive me. However, you do have a beautiful system, and I can pronounce the names of all the hardware you're using here. So Fantex N3 Pro, awesome case, Core i5 4690K. You've also got a Kraken X61 cooling it, and a Gigabyte Z97X Gaming 3 motherboard, 16 gigs of a Vexor Core Red DDR3 memory, and a GTX 970 G1 Gaming from Gigabyte. So let's go ahead and take a look at your side here. Side profile, okay, looking pretty good here. Can see you've kind of gone with a red, black, and white themed, which is always nice. I kind of like white to be thrown into a red and black theme, more so than just red and black. For whatever reason, I think that third color really kind of, complements the other two colors very well, and obviously a lot of red and black themes, or there's a lot of red and black themed computers already, so adding the white just adds a little bit more personality. It's a little bit more diverse. Never thought I would say you need more white to make something diverse, but there you have it. There's a first for everything, I guess. So we've got a pretty sweet system here. Cable management looks good. Your cable trainers are on, at least your PCI Express cables there. However, they still look a little bit, I don't know, a little bit kind of bent, out of shape. I'm not sure if you're just in the early stages of training, or you need to do a little bit more stretching out and kind of, training them maybe without the cables, actually just bending them manually to get them a little bit straighter, because they look a little bit crooked here. Your 24-pin definitely looks a bit cleaner. And from this angle, or I should say in this lighting, it looks like your heatsink is kind of a weird shade of orange. However, I know for a fact, and from this picture as well, that they are in fact red. So that's, of course, the Z97X Gaming 3, which I can confirm does have some red heat spreaders there. Or heat sinks, I should say, on the VRM. So that matches beautifully with your cables there. And yeah, like the beginning of your cables here from the PCIe ports on your graphics card look really clean. Like they look super straight. It's just kind of when you get to the bottom end of those cables where it looks a little bit crunchy. But overall, very clean system here. You've got some nice fans in here, some aftermarket fans, as well as the stock Phantix ones as well. And then let's see, is there any more pictures that you sent besides the money shot? Okay, here. So you've got some LEDs on here. Wow. Okay, this looks really nice actually. You've got some white LEDs that are around the perimeter of your case, which gives everything kind of a neutral glow. But then you've also got like this awesome lava aesthetic going on with your RAM and the audio trace layout on your motherboard. Speaking of which, that's really looks really bright, at least from this picture. I don't know if you altered modified the brightness in this picture, which you're not allowed to do in Booted, by the way. However, it looks really bright. It's kind of illuminating the lower left corner of your case, and I think it really evens out the glowing lava aesthetic that you have coming from your RAM. So I think that's good. You have a really nice looking, some really nice glowing accents here with the red in the system, and I think that looks really cool. Also, white light up on the logo, on your WindForce logo, which also looks good. Very good on the white lighting too. Everything's super even. It looks like you've got pretty much all sides of the case illuminated. I can't tell if the rear has some LED strippage on it. However, the rest of it looks very even, and that is something that is always appreciated here on Booted. So overall, shit, Fami, your fam. Fam bam. Okay, I don't know why I'm just continuing to butcher your name, but nice system. I like it. Let's move on to Daphne. Okay, Daphne, you've got a Thermaltake G42 Commander, which is an interesting case for this build since it is so high-end. However, I think you did specify that this case has some sort of sentimental value to you. I don't know if, maybe a loved one gave it to you, or if it's your first case, or I don't know, you keep your grandmother's ashes in an urn, like inside of it. No, that'd be really creepy though. But for whatever reason, I think it's cool. I kind of like when something is sentimental as far as like computer hardware, and not just the latest and greatest part that I bought because it's new and stuff. So I like that sentimental value aspect of it. And let's see what you've got inside of here. 4790K. You've also got two GTX 980s in SLI. Beautiful. Got a pretty substantial SSD arrangement here as well, and your platform Z97 on an Asus Sabertooth, very nice. 32 gigs of Corsair Dominator Platts, DDR3 of course, and shoot Joe. Did I say they were 980s? Yes, they are 980s. Yes, they are. Okay, stop second guessing yourself, Kyle. You're smarter than you think you are. Sometimes. No, not really. Okay, white cables. I like it. These are actually coming straight from your power supply. These are not extensions, and I think that does add a bit more refinement to the overall look. It is nice to see like everything's very consistent here. You've kind of gone with like a very color neutral scheme as well. So you've got pretty much all black with some silver and white accents. White coming from your cables and silver coming from your Dominator Platts, your RAM, as well as that very fancy EVGA bridge, the SLI bridge that I actually have one in Hotline back there. It took me long enough to get it installed. However, this is kind of the same thing that we saw with Fami. I'm just gonna go back to Fami here for a second. How he's got the where are you, Fami? Or where's that picture? Okay, so how Fami's got like lava in the top right, and he's got glowing lava in the top left, or bottom left, sorry. Daphne has the same thing going on, but with silver. So he's got silver RAM, and he's got a silver SLI bridge, and you might not think too much of it. Like, yeah, so what the hell are you talking about, Kyle? However, like, I think that looks really good. That's a good idea to even out the colors in your system. To have just one color in one corner of your rig looks very imbalanced. Unless that's kind of what you're going for whatever reason, but I prefer to have a more like even coat of color as well. So it would have looked a little bit one-sided had you only had one or the other, the bridge or the RAM. So I think that evens out quite nicely. And holy smokes, Joffrey! I should call you Jeffrey, because Joffrey is the name of a stupid little evil twerp in Game of Thrones. Thank you for the generous donation, sir. Just got your Vive, awesome. Let's see. Yes, I mean, I'm going to be doing a lot more VR content in the near future, especially with the Oculus Rift on its way. Actually, I'm probably getting that around the time of Computex. So by the time I get back from Taiwan, I should have a Rift on hand that will have arrived. And at that point, I'm going to be doing a lot more comparison videos between the two. It's kind of hard to do a review on the Vive itself right now when I don't have a basis of comparison for it. So once that Rift comes in, bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to be doing a lot more VR content. It's going to be good. But okay, so Daphne, honestly, everything's looking good here. I like the again, I like the colors. I like how really simple and clean it is. I like that SSD placement that's right in front of your power supply, because honestly, power supplies don't look all that great anyway. Even when you take the sticker off or whatever, it's just a big slab of materials. Let's go ahead and take a look at your money shot. Okay, so you've got a money shot. You've got, you say you have 6 Thermaltake white LED ring fans. Okay, the ring fans are really cool. And I believe you also have a picture of this lit up with those said fans. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Yes, this is beautiful. I like this. So they are white LEDs. They do have RGB ones as well. However, this looks awesome. I really like how this looks. You've just got a really subtle glow with those, with the help of those fans, as well as the WindForce cards. Your AIO, for example, is also lit up white, and the RAM itself. The RAM has the DOM plats have that white LED in them, so everything's kind of really meshing really well for me here. I like the subtle glow, and I actually kind of like or prefer that you didn't include a white LED strip, because that would have sort of soften the rest of the glow, and it wouldn't have been as pronounced. And I really like that decision that you made there. So altogether, very solid build. Geez, I don't know what else to say. This is a good build, yo. Very innovative spots for the SSDs again in front of the power supply, and I just noticed right now that there's one on top of your drive cage as well. So good stuff, man. I hope you do well in the voting round. You deserve it. Let's move on to John. John has a Corsair 760T. I don't know why I'm on this picture. This isn't the first picture I should be showing you guys. This is the first picture. 760T. This is a refrigerator of a case, but also a very good one. We've also got a 5820K, as well as 2 GTX 980 Ti hybrids in SLI from EVGA. So these are the hybrid ones that pretty much have an AIO pre-installed right out of the box. These are freaking awesome cards, and you've got 2 of them in this system. Holy smokes, yo. Along with 32 gigs of Corsair Vengeance DDR4. This is probably on the higher end of PCs that we've seen in this season, for sure. And look at that side profile. Very nice. So this is again a red and black themed. Not the most original, however. Always a classic, I suppose. You've also got some really clean cable extensions. Those are super straight. And I think Fani could probably take a lesson out of your book, take a page out of your book on how to straighten those out. So good job on that. You've got the cable trainers on them as well. So you've got a lot of tubing here with your AIO for your CPU, as well as both of the hybrid cards. And I don't know. I mean, this either looks really cool to some of you, or it's just too much, or maybe it's like the arrangement of how the tubes are kind of flowing from point to point, because you do have a lot of options here in a case like the 760T for radiator mounting, and you could have gone a few different ways. I'm actually not a fan of how the top video card has tubing that goes directly in front, pretty more or less in front of your AIO, covering up that really nice water block on the Corsair H100i GTX there. Maybe you could have mounted it to the back and kind of tuck the tubing a little bit more towards the rear of the case, or even possibly just flip the radiator on top around to have the tubes flow a little bit to the left, again towards the rear of your chassis. However, I'm being nitpicky because this is a pretty stellar rig. You've also got the Velcro straps that are kind of holding your tubes together. I forget who it was on last season of Booted, but they had the tubing separators, and they were actually they were also red, like a brushed aluminum in red on his Kraken cooler, I believe, and it was absolutely fantastic. I highly suggest that you look into those and see if they look good with the type of tubing that you have here, because I think it would be a huge step up over the Velcro straps that you have here. I don't know, but when I see those particular, like the really thin Velcro straps on this side of the case, my mind wants to think like, I'm so used to seeing those on the rear side behind the motherboard tray where all the cable management takes place that, I don't know, maybe it's just, I've been conditioned that way. However, those tube separators, you should look into those. You've got also a very nice SLI bridge from MSI, which definitely ties everything together. I also very much like how your RAMs are color coordinated and they're alternating just like the cable extensions that you have here, or you know your sleeved extensions. Are they sleeved extensions or are they? Yes, they are. It looks like they're extensions because you're using the stock cables originally from your power supply there. Speaking of which, I would also suggest taking that power supply sticker off. I don't think it's really doing much. It's not hideous. It's pretty color neutral. It's just pretty much white and black. However, I don't know. I don't like seeing the rail chart down there, and it just looks a little bit too busy for me. Got the 80+ certification sticker and stuff like that. Just rip it off for Christmas sake. But look at this. Look at this money shot. Absolutely beautiful. I am super jelly of this setup. I would like to have one of these in the future. But damn, look at them LEDs. So you've also got some thermal take ring fans here. I forgot to mention 140 millimeter. These are the RGB ones, so you can kind of color coordinate. However, you're pretty much stuck with red or a similar color since you do have a lot of other components in here that are red. Looks really nice though. It looks really good. You've also got some LED strippage on at least the bottom of your case. It looks like maybe at the front of your case as well, but definitely it's hot at the bottom. Not so much LED stuff going on at the top of your system, which maybe you could have evened it out a little bit more, although it does kind of add to the fiery pit of hell there at the bottom of your system, with just having more of the illumination on the lower half. And kind of blasting upward, kind of creates some interesting shadows and things like that. Maybe that's what you're going for. So altogether, beautiful system, beautiful case, and just really well done with all the cable management and stuff. Let's move on to Adam. Adam has a simpler system, but it should not be disregarded as a worthy contender in the season of Booted here, because it is very clean, and that is, of course, why I chose him as one of our contestants today. He's got a more modest system with a 4690K, and this is an NZXT S340. We've also got a GTX 970 from NVIDIA's, and he did specify that this was 1,500 rupees in Canadian rupees, not necessarily $1,500. However, I did see that, you know, it is an approximation. I didn't say it had to be $1,500 to submit, just more or less around that ballpark area. So yeah, this is a really nice system here. You've got some orange accents on your heatsink for your heatsink fans on the what is that? A Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. And you've also got orange accent, which is custom, of course, on your video card. So it is a reference design, the GTX 970 that you have here for your cooler. However, it looks like you've taken it apart, maybe spray painted it, did some Plastidip work maybe to get that nice orange color. And it looks very nice. If we take a closer up look at the money shot here, it doesn't look like there's any kind of blemishes with your spray paint job. You clearly know what you're doing, and of course that goes for the rings around your fans as well, for those Corsair SP fans. And yeah, you did a really nice job, dude. It looks like they came straight out of the box that way. I wouldn't have even known that someone spray painted them. So that's really nice. You do have some standard, stock cables from the power supply, which I would have liked to see some custom sleeved extensions that were also maybe orange and silver or orange and gray and black, for example. That would have really looked nice. And I also kind of wish that you had gotten more Corsair fans, maybe the Airflow series fans that you could have just replaced all the stock fans in the S340 with, and also spray painted the rings orange for those as well, and that kind of would have just added a bit more orange to the scenario. But for the most part, this is a very clean system. Oh, I almost clicked on the cable management picture. That would have been bad. Let's go ahead and take one more look here. Very nice, very clean system. Altogether, I think this is very well done. Very well done, sir. So good job, Adam, on that. And let's go ahead and round off our contestants with Kyle. No, this is not my system. This is just another Kyle. There are other Kyles in the world, I can guarantee it. I have met a couple of them. Fantex Enthulux, okay, very nice case. This is the same case, of course, that I did my white build in, and naturally it was the white version of this one. You've also got a Core i7 6700K with the massive Fantex cooler I tried to build with about a week or two ago, and that didn't work out because I failed to get some low-profile memory. But this is the PHTC 14PE. Which is a hell of a cooler, just really freaking massive. And the Asus Z170A motherboard, 16 gigs of Vengeance low-profile RAM, and an AMD Radeon R9 390 with a Kraken X31 AIO. Oh snap! So yeah, so you've got, I guess this was maybe I don't know if this is a reference R939. It didn't say if this was, you know, some kind of, you know, engineering sample that you might have got, or a reference design, or if it was aftermarket from a an add-in board partner, and then you peeled off the cooler to slap on the Kraken X31. I'm not too sure, but at any rate, it does match very nicely with your red and black theme here. All the sleeved extensions also look good, kind of got that stripage going on, and you've also got kind of a white-black stripage with your CPU cooler, because you've got the two white fans with the white shrouds, and then you've got the black heat sinks to go along with that. So that kind of all meshes well together. And let's take a look at your money shot. Okay, from this angle, it also looks fairly tidy. Cable management is, again, on point. We've got some LED pictures. I believe the Lux has 7, I can't remember if it's 7, I never remember if it's 7 or 9 different color presets that you can choose with the Lux. It's got built-in lighting that you can see kind of on the trim, the outer trim of the case, as well as inside, and it does look like you got those Fantex LED strips that actually match up with the LED controller on your case that handles the case lighting. So that's really clean, really looking good. You've also got just another color and angle here, so all together looking pretty nice. Man, so it looks like you've mounted the radiator for the NZXT Kraken X31 maybe on the bottom of your case. Right where like the hard drive cages would be. Thank you very much, Todd, for the donation. My favorite beer. Favorite beer. I don't really know what my favorite beer is. That's really hard to say. That's like saying what's your favorite movie, your favorite song. But I really do like stouts. Both American and, you know, Imperial, Russian Imperial stouts are also really good. And I guess on top of that, I like IPAs. I'd say stouts and IPAs are my jam. So yeah. I do like me some Pliny the Elder, which Paul and I have been drinking a little bit of lately, because some really awesome guy had gifted them to us at Land Syndicate a few weeks back. But yeah, thank you very much for the donation. Appreciate that. Is there anything else I have to say about this this chassis or this system here? I don't think so. I think everything looks good. If I had one critique, maybe a critique. I don't really. I feel like the cables could be a little bit more aligned. If you maybe just picked up a few cable combs for those things and did some training, I think that would look pretty nice. And I think that's right. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a black and white themed system. Everything's clean. All right, that's all I have to say about that. And those are all the contestants that we have to talk about today. So right about now, you should be seeing a link pop up in chat. My beautiful wife, Wifey Sauce, who's using my account, by the way. I'm not married to myself. She will be posting that link in chat, and it will prompt you to go vote on one of these 5 PCs. You can only vote for one, and you can only vote once, despite what it seems like. It seems like you can vote multiple times, but I've checked it. It seems like you can, but it doesn't actually count the second vote. So go ahead and really think about which system here that we've talked about today deserves to go on to the final round. While you do that, I'm going to briefly talk one more time and give you all you latecomers here another look, or a first look at the cable mod configurator. If I can go ahead and go back here, we can talk about them really quick. Cable mod. All right, making your cables to order. I didn't even mention at the beginning of the show that you can also change the length of these extensions. So, or just the power supply cables in general. Regardless of which extension or cable you go with, you can pretty much, it ranges from, I think it's like, I don't know the exact range, but as short as you need or as long as you need, so that you don't have any excess cable to work with in your build, because that would kind of really be shitty, right? If you had an awesome cable, awesome custom cables that you just couldn't fit literally inside of your case, or that made cable management a pain in the ass. So we've also got the custom extensions now, which are just very newly available to us. These haven't been around for long. I think they just added this feature to the site earlier this week. So again, you can go ahead and add one of these. Here we go. Here's the slider. So you can basically range from 200 millimeters all the way up to 600 millimeters. And I don't know what that is in inches right off the bat, but it is a fair range. Anything that I'm sure you guys will be happy with, anything in between these values. So very cool stuff. Again, this is my, let me go ahead and switch back to, myself, and my custom sleeve cable that I still don't know what I'm going to do with, other than maybe just, you know, use it as a conversation piece when people come over. Like, hey, look at this. It's funky colors. Hey, it's like, you know, taste the rainbow. Yeah, this is one that I actually made off of the Configurator website from Cable Mod. So really good stuff. Again, paracord sleeving, very high quality. There's no heat shrink, which I absolutely despise. So that's good. And you know, it's solid build quality, yo. Jesus. So again, link in the description below of this video if you want to check that out. And we will be talking about some more Cable Mod stuff next week as well for these little ad spots, and an exciting announcement as well for all of you viewers of Booted in regards to possibly a Cable Mod deal of some sort. It won't be on the configurator, but it might be on something else. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I think that's good enough, right? You guys have had some time to look it over and we will be think about. Oh, I'm hearing myself in the headphones. Go ahead and mute that. Mute it. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the winner. We don't know who the winner is yet, but it is time to figure that out. Boom. Boom. Todd Johnson to you, brother. Thank you for the donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But it is time to vote which of these PCs should go on to the final round. Honestly, I think they're all great. I think it's probably going to be between two of them in particular. I don't want to say, but we've got Fani, Daphne, John, Adam, and yours truly. Nope, that's a different Kyle. This is a different Kyle. All right, let's see what you guys thought. I know who I've got my money on, but it's not up to me, is it? The Week 2 finalist of Booted Season 4 is Daphne. Holy smokes, Daphne with 44% of the votes, and this is actually a closer matchup. I don't know the word I'm looking for. This was like not too much of a landslide like Booted usually is, so that's kind of nice. There was John, who came in second place with 27% of the vote, and then Adam trailing behind with 16. Sorry, Fani, you only got 6. Better luck next time. Straighten up those cables. But Daphne, holy smokes, yeah, jeez. With the sentimental G42 Commander case. Will you look at that? Yeah, this is a very clean system. And honestly, I swore that you guys were gonna choose Adam's build. No, not Adam's. John's. I thought you were gonna choose John's build. Just, you know, because it's got, you know, water-cooled hybrid GTX 980 Ti's and stuff, and lots of RAMs. But I could not have been more wrong. Man, congratulations, Daphne. You are our Week 2 finalist for Booted. We'll be seeing you 2 weeks from now in Week 4 of this particular season for the final round, where you will be going head-to-head again with Week 1 finalist Michael. Got Week 1 finalist Michael, and now Week 2 finalist Daphne. Sort of similar systems, in a way. Kind of a black and white theme. Going from Michael to Daphne. Daphne's got a little bit more horsepower, but, you know, that's not exactly what... No, actually, no. I'm sorry. Michael has more horsepower. Daphne's got 280s. 2 980s. Words! I don't even words. Yeah, should be an interesting matchup. I hope we don't get, like, a frickin' another black and white themed PC for next week. That'd be like the first season of Booted, where we all had NZXT cases. Was that the first season or season 2? I don't remember. Anyway, that's pretty much all for today, guys. If you want to catch Booted live, go ahead and tune in on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, my YouTube channel. If you want more updates on that sort of thing, follow me on Twitter at Forever Kyle. Yes, it's true. And love you, Kyle Johnson. Thank you very much, Ken, for the donation. Always, I appreciate all donations. They are never required, but always appreciated. That's what Fractal Josh says. I just stole his line. But yes, stay tuned for this. Might be doing something with this very soon, but I'm going to keep that under wraps for now. It's got a backplate. See that? It's got a freaking backplate. Jay, by the way, Jay's 2 cents just did a video on this, on the Founders Edition card. If you guys are confused as to what that is, go ahead and check out his channel. He's got a really good video on it. Explains all the questions and burning questions that you might have on that particular card. But that's it, y'all. Thank you for watching. I love y'all. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, everyone. Adieu. Anikaseo. Adios. Those are all the languages I know how to say bye in. Au revoir. Sayonara. I know sayonara. Alright.